Hey guys, this is Rod Young. Welcome back to One Man in a Van. I'm talking about my road trip that I took in a van. If you like these, please like and subscribe button down below. So I left off where I was getting back to Joshua Tree, getting back to Indian Cove Campground. So I left the park, got back to Indian Cove Campground, and I had a really good night's rest. I went to had to close up the van and shut the windows up. And the next morning I got up, and again, it's just beautiful. This was the day that I was going to be leaving the park. So I was kind of sad about that, but at the same time, I was excited because I had no idea what I was going to see next. So I got up and I cooked breakfast. I think I had some scrambled eggs and kind of just hung out a little bit, cleaned up, saw some wildlife, saw some rabbits and some, birds and stuff out at the outside of the van, and just really enjoyed the morning. I wasn't in a hurry to get anywhere, but at the same time, I did need to go. So packed up everything, got on the road. I went and stopped and got some coffee, and then I got on, I think it's Highway 62, and drove. And the thing what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see as much as I can see. So I only want to drive in the daytime, and I only want to go maybe 2 or 3 hours. I don't want to drive all night, get somewhere and get there dark and miss something on the road. So that was kind of my plan for the entire trip, to leave where I am early and try to get there maybe at 4 o'clock the latest, so that I can enjoy a little bit of time there that day, and then the next day. So that's what the plan was. And of course I got up. So I really wasn't going to go, I didn't want to go too far. I went a couple 100 miles. So I went to the Mojave Desert, which wasn't that far from Joshua Tree National Park. And, got in the road, got on Highway 62, and I stopped. I need to explain, I've never actually seen desert, coming from Atlanta. This is all kind of new and kind of exciting to me. So I had never seen desert. So I'm driving, and I'm enjoying the road. Of course, I know there's people kind of ready to pass me and that kind of thing, because I'm just literally taking my time. I'm that guy who, when you're driving, he's just not knowing where he's going, and he's just really taking his sweet time. Yeah, I'm for this trip, I'm that guy. So I was not in a hurry to be anywhere. So I got to this point. I think it was it was a wilderness area. I want to say Clyburn Wilderness Park and Sheep Hole Wilderness Park, all in the same area. They were basically one on one side of the road and one was on the other side of the road, but there were some rock formations. And so I pull over, and because I see where I'm about to go. I'm about to hit deserts. I'm about to hit, the road looked like it was covered with sand in some areas. So I'm about to hit something that I had never seen before. So I pulled over where these rock formations were, and just kind of got out and took some pictures. And it was really cool. The rocks had paintings, over them. Had, Black Lives Matter paintings, all kinds of artwork on the actual painting. So and I believe that people actually camped out there too. And I'm taking pictures, and I'm just kind of, and it's kind of cold. It was a little windy, but you could see, I was just watching where I was about to go, and you could see the trail. And I think I'll post some pictures of the road that I'm about to take. And of course I get on that road, and it is so windy, and I don't know if I have pictures of that, but I'll try to find them. But my van was literally, because it's tall, it was literally swaying from left to right, and I'm fighting literally to stay on the road. If I had let go of the steering wheel, I probably would have turned drastically left or right, depending on which way the wind was blowing. So, and then you could see the actual sand on the road. So there are parts of the road where you actually couldn't even see the road, the lines in the road. And it was really kind of strange, but it was really kind of cool at the same time, because I'd never gone through anything like that. I'm not really a van driver, so I didn't really, this is the first time I actually drove a van for as long as I drove it. But it was really cool. And I'm going to try to post some pictures of that. But I got to Route 66, and I'm going to post another video, I think, that has some more details about it. But I stopped at this place called Roy Cafe, and it's kind of like in a place called Alcovey, I think. So I kind of stopped there, and I got some magnets, some Route 66 magnets. Again, this is the first time I'd ever been on Route 66, and if you know, Route 66 was like one of the main highways to get from, I think, Chicago to California coast, and really, really cool. They have all of these large advertisements there. The actual stores and establishments are really, done in a way that they're extremely, I won't say gaudy, but they're extremely attractive for people to pull over. They're very inviting. So this Roy Cafe was like that. So I went in and I got some souvenirs and stuff. Really cool place. I actually met some nice people, and they have an attraction there. It's kind of like a Route 66 museum. It was closed at the time, but I did get a chance to take a look around and everything. So really cool. Got back on the road. I don't think I stopped for gas. I was interested in seeing what it looked like there. It was a gas station. Got on to Route 66, and of course, portions of Route 66 were closed there. I mean, it was completely blocked off. So I had to make a left turn, I guess you could say, go north. And this is the route that I had to take to get to the Mojave Desert. Now, beautiful, beautiful scenery. I mean, it's desert, but they also had mountains and hills. And you could see all along the sides of the mountains where there were dirt roads. And obviously, these are well-traveled roads. I was on paved road, and I actually got to an interstate. But you could actually see all around the hills there were roads and, dirt roads. So that began to give me the idea that, a lot of these roads are just ancient. A lot of these roads are roads that, the Indians were on, the Mojave Indians were on long before we got here. So, it was really cool to see. And I'll talk about that a little bit more too. So get to the entrance, I guess you would call it, the Mojave Desert. There's a sign there that said Mojave, I think Mojave Preserve. And I was looking at the map that they had there, and they had a lot of different things, and they weren't that far away from me. There was this place called Mitchell Caverns. So I decided, I'm only going to be driving, at least no longer at 4 o'clock. I'm almost close to where I'm going to be staying. So let's take a detour. I would decide to go to the Mitchell Caverns. Now, Mitchell Caverns is kind of up on a hill. It's up on a mountain, and everything is flat until you get to these mountains. So you could feel the car, actually, the grades of the mountain as you were driving. You could see that it kept getting steeper and steeper and steeper. Finally, I got to the actual, there's a parking lot where you're way up on top of this mountain, and you could look down over the plains, and you could see, all of the land that you had just driven on. And it was really, really cool. And, to be up so high. So I go to the ranger station. It's a visitor center there. And of course, Mitchell Caverns was originally bought. It was originally land bought by this couple who actually bought the couple, had a homestead there, built around it. They built their home. They raised their children there. They found these caves that were there, and they pretty much made an attraction from the caves. You could walk. There was a tour where you could actually go all the way up through the mountains, through the caves, and come back around. And of course, I decided to go. And what's interesting is that this couple, they pretty much died, and they left the land to the National Park Service, and they maintained it. It went into disarray for I guess 30, 40 years. And this was back in the 20s and 30s when they had it. It went into disarray, and then the National Park Service decided to remodel it or rehab it. And I was one of the first people who actually had a chance to see it after they did the rehab. Now, so of course they redid the parking lot. I think they put bathrooms up. And what's interesting is they didn't really advertise that that's what they were doing. They didn't advertise it. And I just drove there, and I just, the ranger was there and he was explaining all this stuff to me. And there was only one other couple there, and they had a van, and they were telling me, it was brand new, and they were like, they were the only ones there for a day or so. And so I decided to go and take a look at it. And also when I spoke to the people in the van, and I cannot remember their names right now, but they had just come from Hole in the Wall, which was pretty much the area where I was going to be staying. My intentions was to do dispersed camping, not actually stay in a campsite, but actually just go out into Mojave Desert and camp. They said that they had just done that, and they were coming the way I was. They were going where I had just came from, so I was going where they had just come from. So they were giving me some insights on some camping trails and some campsites that I might be interested in going to if I did not want to do a official campsite. So, and that's what I did. But Mitchell Caverns, I go through and I walk around, and it looks like, it's really cool the way they have it set up. Some of this stuff looks like it's straight out of Indiana Jones. All right, guys, I am in the Mojave Desert. I'm at the Mitchell Caverns and winding staircase. It's really beautiful out here. Gorgeous. Okay, well, this is some Indiana Jones stuff here now. I didn't sign up for this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mitchell Caverns. There was a bridge there. I was like, this is kind of high up. I don't know if I want to get on this suspended bridge thing. And, but I did, because you had to go through it to actually get to the caves and stuff. And I did it. And, I walked around, and it's really just, the air was, I can't explain this. The air was really crisp. The wind was kind of cool. And, it's cooler as you're up, your elevations, you're up higher. But I was the only person in this park. I was the only one there. And I literally had it to myself. They do tours, but they weren't, they said they were going to start doing tours, but, they weren't quite prepared for that. But they just allowed you to go and walk. And, it was just really nice. The fact that I was by myself was just kind of crazy, because it just looks like a really cool tourist area. And I'm going to post pictures of it. Yeah, I took pictures. There was some beautiful plants there. I found some pyrite, some iron, I guess, fool's gold, and kind of kept that. I didn't know if I was supposed to or not, but I brought that with me. And really nice. And I just enjoyed the day. And I kind of came back down, the route that I took, and got some pictures of this trench and some pictures over the bridge. And you could see as far as the eye could see, because you were so high up, you could see all through the plains, and just a lovely, lovely place to go to. And I encourage everyone to go to Mitchell Caverns if you are in the Mojave Desert. So yeah, I got back to my van, and of course I ate my lunch there. Maybe it was another salad, I don't know. No, it was actually beef stroganoff, so I had that, and kind of just hung out for a little while and just enjoying the view. And then I got back on the road, went down the hill, and there was a point where I had to take a left to go to Hole in the Wall. And so I did that, and I drove, and I finally got to the Hole in the Wall. I guess you could call it a visitor center. And, I'm not thinking hole in the wall, and I'm just thinking there's some type of, tore up building, kind of hole in the wall. When you say hole in the wall, usually you mean it's some kind of tore up building that you go to, and it's not very, neat, not very new, just kind of old and kind of beat up. There's a reason this is called Hole in the Wall Campsite. But what it actually was were a wall of rocks full of holes. That's where they get hole in the wall from. So I was not expecting that, but that's what it was. So so I was there for a little while, went to the visitor center. Of course, the visitor center wasn't actually open. I don't really know why it wasn't, but it wasn't. So I used my iOverlander app, as well as the information that the previous van owners had, previous van people that I saw at Mitchell Cavern, they told me about. And I decided to go to this dispersed camping site that I went to. I'm in hole in the wall, Mojave Desert. Literally nothing around me. I am here by myself, completely isolated. Now, mind you, this is the first time I actually dispersed camp, and I have my gun with me. I have my, I feel like I'm protected well enough. Of course, I'm reading these reviews, and they said that there's, a lot of wolves and coyotes and stuff out there. And as you park, and the later it gets and the darker it gets, the wolves and the coyotes get closer and closer to your van, and you hear them more and more. So, I was kind of like, okay, well, we're going to see how this is going to work out. I wasn't trying to shoot anything, but we're just going to see how this works out. So I get there, and, I get there early enough to where I can enjoy it, and I can, get my self together and park and, go outside and, walk around a little bit, and just kind of enjoy it. And it was really cool. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm waiting for the nightfall so I can actually see the stars. And I have not seen a cloud in 2 days, so it's amazing how beautiful the sky is. Again, I'm literally the only person anywhere to be seen. And the reason I wanted to do this is because the Mojave Desert, there are no lights. You can't see anything when it's dark except the stars. And the stars are more illuminated when there's an absence of light. So you can see the Milky Way. You can see all of the stars. I mean, it's really cool how you can see so much more when when it's completely pitch dark. And so I parked, and of course I ate and put my covers on my windows, and I went out a little bit, walked around, waited till it got really, really dark. Then I pulled out my GoPro. I mean, this might have been maybe midnight. Pulled out my GoPro, got out the van, started walking around, taking pictures. And let me tell you, it was so incredible to see these stars. I mean, I had never seen stars, or as many stars as I saw that night. I hope that my camera can do justice, because my eyes saw so much, and I hope the camera can pick up everything. But it was incredible, and it was cold outside, but it was so nice out there, so beautiful. I literally stayed out there an hour and a half in the dark, surrounded by coyotes, which you could hear. And, of course, I had my gun with me, but I was out there. And you may think, man, he's crazy to do that. But sometimes it's just really nice to see something that you hadn't seen before, and to do something you hadn't done before. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of exhilarating. It's kind of nerve-wracking, a little bit crazy. But at the same time, those types of feelings are sometimes what thrill seekers are seeking. I don't really call myself a thrill seeker, but in that moment, I was really excited to be out there, and I really wasn't that worried. But it was dark, and it was, lonely, and, it was no one else out there. So I had to, really be mindful of what was around me. And I slept pretty good, actually, once I finally got to bed. I did catch a movie, I think, on Netflix, and I did cook and ate, and it was really nice. And the next morning I got up, and I can't say that I didn't know what it looked like as when I went to Joshua Tree, but when I got up, it was just so beautiful. The sunrise was really cool. It was just really nice. Well, I had a great night's rest, and I'm waking up to this beautiful sunrise. Again, I'm in the Mojave Desert, and I saw some beautiful stars last night. So everything was beautiful, and I got the moon. And I'm gonna, hopefully I'll have good pictures. And so I got up and I, enjoyed that, and I got the van ready to move again. And again, I'm maybe, I want to say 6 or 7 miles on a dirt road, so I still have to get to a main road, and that's what I did. I drove, got in the car, drove, and I've got. Hopefully, I have some pictures of this. The dirt road was incredible. I was playing really cool music and just no real place to be and no timetable. You literally can see so much more and do so much more, and that's what I did. So I got on the main road, and I took a left. I drove back by the hole in the wall because that was where Google Maps told me to go. And started driving and past the hole in the wall. There's a hole in the wall campsite past that too, which was also on the left. And just kept going and following Google Maps. And then all of a sudden, the paved road became a dirt road. And I could see where I was supposed to go. But Google Maps did not tell me that I was going to be going on a dirt road to get to where I was trying to go to. I was trying to go to this city called Cina. I think it's C-I-N-A. And of course, Google Maps didn't tell me that these were dirt roads, but that was okay. Once I got my mind wrapped around the fact that I was going to be on a dirt road, it was great. So I got on the dirt road and I'm just driving, and I'm actually seeing these are trails. They're dirt roads, but you could tell that they were original trails that the Indians took. I mean, because of the way they were and the way they went around, like mountains, or went between the mountains. They were kind of like in the valleys. And man, it was just, you drive, and there was actually some farms out there too. But you drive it, and it's just, you couldn't go too fast. And it was just perfect for me because I got a chance to just, sometimes I got out and sometimes I just kept driving. So it wasn't like I meandered all the way to where I was trying to go to. But there's this one instance where I was on a hill, and I actually was so high up that I could see where the road was actually taking me, where this dirt road was taking me. And then I had to stop because I could look around me and see everything. Okay, I am on a dirt road. I had to pull over and take a look at this view. I'm on the top of my van so I could get the best view possible, but this is a dirt road, and most people will never see this road driving on paved roads because this is dirt, and no paved roads are out here. This is a once-in-a-lifetime view for me, so I had to take the time to... You see that road? That is a dirt road. All of the dirt roads. And of course, I'm on top of my van. But yeah, dirt roads. And it's a dirt road. I have no idea where it's going. I may be on that one. I'm not sure. But yeah. Just thought I would share this. Because I may never see anything like this again. And of course, these are not paved roads. These are dirt roads. So these are the roads that the Mojave Indians took. I later find this out. These are the roads that the Mojave Indians took on their way to the Pacific Ocean. So they took these trails for thousands of years, and they were worn trails. And the only thing is people started driving them where, they were used to walk and have their horses on them, but now people are driving them. So they were maybe a little wider, but you could actually tell because of the way they curved and they zigzagged. And, I'm going to stop right here because I'm actually heading to Nevada. I'm actually heading to Las Vegas, and I will talk about the trip to Las Vegas in the next video. Thank you guys for listening. And if you'd like for me to make more videos, please like and subscribe down below.